What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Where the Locals Skate. I'm your host once again, OG Skate Show. This is a podcast where we get to know local skaters on and off the board. And of course, here with me always, we have the Couch Boys. And today we have a special guest sitting in for Peralta. We have Ryan Sainz in the house.
Hello.
And Victor Castillo.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
And now let's introduce our guest this week. We have Amy Bradshaw in the studio.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
Right on.
It's a pleasure meeting you. I do follow you on the Instagram, so I've been seeing your stuff, and then you followed us back, and I was like,
I did.
That's cool.
I did.
So then I asked you if you wanted to be a guest, and you said, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you. Let everybody know what city you're repping.
Bellflower, California.
Okay. And how did you start skating?
Well, there's two stories because I started twice. I started when I was just a little kid, like 9 or 10 years old. And that was in the 70s. I can't remember exactly when, because, you know, when you're 9 or 10 years old, you don't pay attention to calendars. But I was pretty little. Excuse me. There's a skate park opened in my in Buena Park, California, called Skatopia.
Oh,
And
okay.
there's a lot of OG skaters came out. I remember seeing Lance Mountain at Skatopia. I remember seeing so many pros. I don't want to say all their names because they're going to go, what about me?
Yeah,
I was there too. But,
if they're watching, yeah.
but I had a good friend that started a website, skatopia.net, my friend Ken Hada, who I knew pretty well as a kid. And he kind of got me back out to the skate parks and stuff when I was 42.
42?
So
Wow. That's the second time?
The second time, yeah. So I skated as a little kid. I skated for Little Vans amateur team.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was like, we'd go to all the local skate parks. You know, I skated Big O in Orange. I skated Anaheim, the Concrete Wave in Anaheim. Paramount had a skate park. Lakewood had a skate park. Whittier had a skate park.
This one right here down the street. Oh, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Skate City
City, yeah.
Whittier.
And there used to be a high school across the street, too.
Yeah.
Before it was a police academy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. Taking it back to Bellflower, is that where you were born?
No, I was born. I grew up in Cyprus.
Cyprus?
In Cyprus, yeah, and that's Buena Park. Skatopia was the closest skate park to me. I was kind of in between the Lakewood skate park and but to skate to Skatopia was quicker.
Oh, you would skate there?
I would skate there. I'd skate all day long.
I have a question also. So you said you picked up the board again at 42.
Mm-hmm.
How long was the gap between when you were younger?
I think I stopped at about 15.
15.
I was about 15 when I stopped skating. And so, you go to high school and there's lots of other things to do.
Right.
Did you still follow skateboarding? Like, was it in the back of your head?
Oh,
or
always. I didn't really follow. I knew who people were. You know, I would see skateboarding on. You know, I'd say, oh, I don't remember that guy. But you drive by a drainage ditch and go, oh, I could totally skate that. And I did that for years. Like that entire what is that? 20? I did the math once. 27 years or something that I didn't skate. Okay. My kids were like, yeah, we know you can skate that. Whatever.
You talk out loud.
Yeah.
Whatever, Mom.
Oh, if I had a skateboard, I'd totally hit that. And my kids are like, oh, sure you would.
Yeah.
So
but that's cool though. But I mean, was there like a skateboard in the house or something like that, or did they take you out to go get one?
What happened is, I think I bought skateboards for my kids when they were pretty young, and I'd like step on it. I could still do a shove it. I could still like skate around a little bit. But my I borrowed a board, I think, when I first came back at 42. You're talking about when I was almost an old lady, when I was like a pre-old lady. But yeah, I went out and then I skated with. At first, I was thinking it was Ken gave me a board, but now I'm thinking about there's a guy named Dale Arden, and Ken had like a group of old Skatopia guys that were skating. His website was made to get people together, like find all those people that used to skate and see who's skating or who's interested in skating. And he had like a reunion. It was awesome. They were like, I mean, last time we saw each other, we were like young teenagers.
That's so
now
cool.
We're skating like we all have families and, you know.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool. It was really cool.
Shout out to that.
Yeah.
I know, right? Ken Hada.
When
Shout
you
out to Ken Hada.
Shout out. When you say Skatopia, it reminds me of that place where like it's just pure skaters. I don't know.
Ohio. It's in Ohio.
There
yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
And then nobody's allowed but pure skaters.
Yeah.
And like
that's usually what people think of when I say that. They think of, but before all that, in the 70s, there was like, you can find some old footage of it, of Skatopia back in the day. There's a famous Stacy Peralta picture, and there's like, we'd see Tony Alva there. We'd see, the pro
So
skaters.
cool.
Have you been there before?
In Ohio? No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, they even had that in the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game.
Yeah, I think it's kind of underground. Like it's like I don't even. Does it still exist?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I have a question. Have you gone to any of like the premieres during your time when you were younger?
No. The video premieres and the no. The video. When did that start? Like I guess that kind of started like in the 90s. That whole video, the video era. And when I came back to skating, that's what people were talking about when I was 42 and I came back and I was like, video parts? What are video parts? Like my nephew, that's what they talk about. They work on their video parts, and that's that was kind of like foreign to me.
Right.
So,
yeah, because I mean, I think most of the people that were, if you were being recorded, it was probably for an event or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
or maybe
exactly.
a dad cam back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were there pros when you were skating? Like besides, you said Lance Mountain was
Yeah,
there, stuff like that?
he was a kid when I was a kid because I think we're the same age. I think he might just be 60, and I'll be 61 next year. But Tony Alva was the pro. That's it's funny because I see a lot of pros now. We're just old people at the same, and I'm some of them I'm friends with, but some are just like pros I remember from back in the day, and I don't really I remember them as kids. I missed that whole time when they were getting famous as pros. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But Tony Alva was the one I remember the most. Dwayne Peters. There's Lonnie Hiramoto, who I skate with still. He I remember him from back in the day. There's Eric Dressen.
Did you collect the magazines as well?
No, I didn't save any of my stuff.
Oh wow!
Because I didn't know that it was going to happen again. You know what I mean? Like I had no idea.
Question about Tony Alva. So you said you knew him more when you was younger, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any stories about that?
Well, I have fuzzy hair, and Tony Alva has fuzzy hair. Mm-hmm. So I used to get teased like, oh, that Tony Alva's the judge. That's her brother. He's gonna make her win.
Another question: the movie, Dog.
Oh, Lords of Dogtown.
Lords of Dogtown. Did that movie portray his personality pretty well?
To me, he was sort of an enigma. He's older than me because Tony Alva is like, what is he, 67, 68? Yeah. He still skates like really well. But back then he must have been in his early 20s, and he was just a normal dude. I mean, he was out partying. They were wild, they were like. But I was, like a young kid, so he wasn't thinking about me.
He was like a rock star.
Oh yeah. He was. That's what I was going towards was. He's the only one that I really kind of get fangirl over. You know what I mean? Like, I used to be pro when I was a kid. I used to write his name in my notebook, and
Did you ever get his board?
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's probably the only one that I remember of the boards that I got. It. But I rode with Vans, and we got a lot of boards. It was like, but that's the one I remember.
And when you rode for Vans, was it like competitive skating, like competition?
Yeah, we did. It was really kind of how they do the castles now. It's like, but smaller scale, much smaller scale. There were fewer of us, but we traveled around, Southern California area, and I got to skate all the parks. And
your parents would take you, or you'd go on your own?
When I rode for Vans, they had a van, and they'd pick us all up and take us us around. Yeah, and it was just like strangers. My parents were like, bye. There was 6 of us. My mom was like, oh, there's one less I got to worry about. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah. So we went to I remember going to San Diego quite a bit and skating the parks down there, Del Mar, and there were lots of parks down there, Carlsbad.
And you were skating all the transitions.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Are you goofy or regular?
I'm regular.
Regular? Okay.
I have a question. Taking it back when you were younger, like, how did you pick up the board, or like what made you want to pick up the skateboard, or what inspired you?
Oh, I have 5 sisters. There's 6 girls in my family, and growing up in like the 60s and 70s, parents were kind of hands off. They were kind of like, okay, go play. You know what I mean? They weren't really paying attention to us, but we were kind of an athletic family. I ran track and I played basketball. I played soccer, and we had every sports equipment. We had roller skates, we had scooters, we had skateboards, we had, we'd make go-karts, we do, all the things that kids in the 70s did. So I don't even know whose skateboard it was, but there was one in our garage, and I picked it up. And one of my sisters is like quite a bit older than me. She's quite a bit. It's not that much. 8 years, 8 or 9. Two of my older sisters. I'm one of the younger ones.
Okay.
So one of her friends worked at Skatopia, and so I had the hookup to go Skatopia, because you had to pay for a session. You didn't just show up at the skate park like you do now.
Right.
You know, you had to pay, like, I don't know how much it costs because I never had to pay. But
or you could be a member, I think, too.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, right?
I
It's
don't.
like a monthly fee or something.
Yeah. So
Oh, my bad.
they have sessions. You'd pay, like the roller rink. It's like you'd get a little ticket,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'd go in, and then you'd go out. But I got to just stay and skate, and I'm probably why I got good is because I was able to put so much time in at the skate park.
I was gonna ask, at that time, did you guys have that problem with like locals only? If you were not local, you weren't able to skate there?
No, I don't think that. I think that probably happened more at spots than it did at the skate park. But we were snakes, like all of us. Like, I don't know if you look at footage of the skate park, you know how everyone kind of stops and waits.
Yeah.
You know, now it wasn't like that then. There was just kids just going around in circles, and it looked like the freeway. You know what I mean? It just was like it's amazing that we survived it.
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely, I believe, like a hierarchy, like who's the best is gonna go, and then, you know, the youngsters always knew when they but yeah, like those guys were going at it though. They're just dropping in.
Yeah, we just went, and then, you know, people would stop when there was someone who's really good. Everyone wanted to see what would happen, so it would kind of clear out for them, you know. And then when the pros would come, they would kind of close the parks up and make everyone get out and film for them, and, you know, things like that. But you know, that locals only thing, that must have been like a spot thing, like pools you'd go to. No, you can't skate here. You're not one of us, or you know,
or that somebody's already doing the session there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just listening to the 9 Club had I think Steve Alba and what's the other dude's name? Oh, Steve Olsen and Alba on the show. Yeah. And they were talking about all the old school pipes and stuff like that.
Yeah, their spots are like, this is our spot. You know, you can't take our spot.
But
kind of like how the DIY guys are now.
Well, yeah, I mean, but they're kind of nice about it. I think as long as you come and help out and clean up
exactly,
and don't leave a mess.
Don't make it a burn.
Yeah.
I got a question. Do you remember what kind of board it was? The one that you found in your garage?
A Black Knight.
Black Knight. Was it like those shapes? Like
it was sort of. It was really narrow. Probably what is that? About 6 inches wide, and oak, just plain flat, about this thick, and then it had the first one that I ever rode before I really got into it was a metal wheel one, but I didn't really ride that one a lot. It was just, they didn't roll well, and like you could just go straight. But this one had those, they called them chalk wheels.
Kind of clay?
Clay wheels, yeah. But when I really started getting better is once when I got my sister's boyfriend had the urethane wheels, and I was like, oh, I got to get one of these. Like, this is like way better. That's when I started. Once the urethane wheels changed it for pretty much every skater in that.
Is that when you started like going into the pools?
Yeah, and going into the riverbed. I lived right off of Coyote Creek. You know, the
it's like
comes
a
up here,
drainage?
right? Yeah, the drainage ditch.
I have a question. So, the riverbeds. There's one in Norwalk / Downey.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that spot. I forgot the name.
San Gabriel River. That's like
Have you gone skating there?
Oh yeah. I skate. Well, actually, I have like recent footage from there. But there's like lots of different spots. If you go all along the riverbed, there's people who will build things and like.
We have one down the street, Rosecrans, that's right under the bridge.
Oh yeah, I've skated there.
Yeah.
By golf and stuff.
No,
no, go this way, closer.
Like
this side, just this side of Carbonita,
yes,
right?
Firestone. Yeah. The one on Firestone is the one that I was talking about.
Yeah. That's the one by Golf and Stuff. I go in that.
That one. Oh
yeah.
That one's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. These DIY places are popping up more and more now, and I like it.
I do too.
Do you know the guy Clayton?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like his little. I've been watching his little podcast too on his shows. It's cool. He gives you all the updates and stuff. So.
He's just super, really interesting too to skate with. He's like, I skated with him at. I have some friends that have a backyard spot.
Okay.
And he's like, you know, he's got that he'll try anything. Like.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. What would be your favorite things to skate? Like.
I like medium-sized bowls. Like, when they're too gigantic, it's just like they kind of bore me. But when they're just smaller and you can flow, I like to flow through.
You like to flow?
Yeah. I really like the bowl at Manzanita. I like that one. But
Manzanita.
I think my favorite park to skate is Prince Park in Oceanside.
Ooh.
But
I had just went there recently for Nora's event.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was there, so I got to see some pretty
Yeah.
gnarly kids that just fly out of that bowl.
Yeah. And they're so like you don't get bored. Like if something gets too crowded, there's something
There's
else
other
to go
things,
skate. And
yeah.
they've got the big vert bowl, and
Yeah.
they've got that the little flow thing in the front.
Yeah. And another question. If you were to explain to a 5-year-old how to bail, how would you do it in your own words?
Step off.
Just step off.
Yeah. Step off. Just step
Okay.
off.
Yeah. Just run it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Step off.
Because in my head I think like, oh, like knee sliding, but like I know that's more for like
Yeah.
like
Vert,
vert.
yeah.
But knee sliding is not like something utilized.
It's hard. Well, I'm not a big knee slider. I should be because I do skate bigger things, and if it's not just inherent to just like go to your knees, like then it's not going to work because you don't have time to think about make the decision like should I go to my knees or should I run. It has to happen like
Mhm.
just
Instant,
like that. Yeah.
yeah.
So I run out more than I should, but now I'm regretting it because now I'm older that I probably should have been knee sliding a long time ago. But well, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
But for kids, I would probably, if you're skating transition, I'd definitely teach them to knee slide. But on the ground, on flat ground, I'd say no. Because you could like do an impact injury even with a, right?
Flat ground, I think it's different. You
Yeah.
know, it's just different. You know, because like I feel like with that it'd be more balanced. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You know, like if you could catch yourself with your feet, then yeah. But
Yeah.
if you know you're gonna fall, then like roll with it.
Right. And I have a tendency to do that to kind of like roll, get to the backside of my hip and, you know, like, I mean, honestly, like everyone's like, oh, you get old, you get more injuries, you know, you got to be careful your bones break. But I broke more bones when I was a kid than I did as an adult. I had a couple shoulder dislocations and this knee thing I have now, but there are things that you would get no matter what age you are. You know what I mean? It's
Prior to like having a skate session, what kind of stretches do you do that work well for you?
well, I work out. Well, I'm really bad because I know you should stretch and like exercise, but I just roll around. I roll around and don't do
Same.
anything. I'm
Yeah.
a roll arounder, but I do work out every morning. I work out like. You know, that's the thing with a lot of the core skaters are like,
Like a yoga type of workout, or
I do. We're sort of, you know, there's a lady that I skate with, and my friend Julie. I have two friends, Julies. I call them the Julies.
oh, they're both named Julie.
Named two friends named Julie. Yeah, and they're both really good friends. They're both really good skaters.
Shout out.
But shout out to the Julies.
Yes.
And Julie, one is Julie. One is Julie, one's the other Julie.
Okay.
But so we work out every morning on Zoom.
Oh, that's
that's
really
And we
great.
do 3 days of weight training, and then we do 2 days of yoga, and then we both do our own thing on the weekends. But
That's cool.
It's
Love
like-
that for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's like-
Because I mean that's important. I don't do nothing like you said. I just roll around.
Yeah,
Till I warm up myself.
I started doing it when I had the shoulder injury because I was like, I just can't keep getting injured over and over. I need to get stronger. And I worked at a supermarket for years. I worked 42. I do not want to shout out Ralph's. They sucked my soul for 42 years. But whatever. It was a good job, I suppose. But I worked in the warehouse at the end, like in the store warehouse, and I did a lot of lifting. And so I stayed, my shoulders were pretty strong, but when I retired and I wasn't doing that anymore, I had to make up for that, the things that I wasn't doing to stay strong. And we started doing weight training, and it really helps. It helps with your whole body awareness, like being strong all over. Everyone just thinks, oh, it's your feet and your knees, but really it's your entire body, your core.
I think it's important. Yeah, you can't just work out your arms and legs. You gotta work out everything that attaches to that too.
Yeah. Right, and your brain too. Like I've had like these epiphanies of like to make a trick, you have to have your brain ready to do it. You can't just throw yourself out there and be like, oh, let's just see what happens. You know, you have to have your brain ready to do it.
That's probably why you're not breaking any bones anymore, because now it's more thoughtful.
Yeah, I'm more cerebral, I guess.
You know, yeah. Like I remember thinking about a trick in my head and like forming it, and then all of a sudden you take it outside and you're like, oh wow. And before as a kid, I would just throw
Just
it out
ask.
there.
Yeah, me too.
I totally agree with what you said, like taking care of the body and the mind.
Yeah.
Because like right now I work at FedEx and there's a lot of physical work, and like I work a lot my body. And not too long ago, last Sunday, I took a slam from a tenstor, and I could have easily broken something.
Right.
But that, like, a lot of lifting, working on my body, I feel like it's helped me out a lot. I was just like sore, you know. But also, how you said, the mind, your brain needs to be ready. My mind, my instincts are telling me, don't try it, because I already did a couple tricks, and I was already good, you know. But I wanted to keep going.
Yeah.
And I didn't practice that trick like the way I was supposed to practice it. I was just hyped, and I went for it. My mind was telling me not to do it, but I went for it.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready and took that slam.
I have a sister who's a professional bowler. I don't know if you guys bowl.
Bowling?
Yeah, she's like a big deal. Like
That's cool.
Yeah, she's like in the bowling Hall of Fame. Like she's like
man.
so she's like you know, like to be at that level, you have to really have a good mental game, because bowling is really mental. But she had a like a slump, I guess you call it. Mm-hmm. And so she went to a sports psychologist, and he told her about positive visualization. So when you're doing something, you don't want to go, I want to make sure I don't slam, or don't want to, because whatever you're thinking about is what's going to happen. Yeah. So you need to think about, okay, how you do it, how it works, and what your goal is, and how it should feel. That should be what's in your brain, not the fall. You want the fall should be, you don't want to think about the fall, because that's not going to happen, because you're going to do the things that are going to make you not fall.
That's amazing.
Right?
One thing that I like to add about that is when, let's say when I'm playing a game of skate, you know, or if I'm skating in front of people, like there's that little pressure in your head, you know, and I'm like, okay, I want to land the trick. I really do, especially when there's eyes on me. And if I miss, I like tell myself like, oh, just reset, like count the wheels, like 1, 2, 3, 4, just change, just don't think about like, oh, I missed it. Like think more like, all right, how many bolts do I have? 4. How many this and that? You know, just something to change just to keep your mind busy, and then like reset it. And then like, okay, what am I doing again? Oh, I'm gonna try this trick.
I have like little mantras I do in my head, like, okay, you know what to do. I'll breathe and go, you know what to do. Like, because that's all you have to do is what you know. Dropping in is the best example. Like people are up there, the first thing they do is like raise their body up, which is the worst thing to do. Mm-hmm. So, but you don't want to tell them, don't raise your body up. You just tell them, these are the things you need to do. Just do those things and it will happen, right? Just put your weight over the front of your board, and then it'll happen. As soon as you take your weight away from it, you're going to eat shit. But you don't want to tell them that, because that's not what they need in their head.
Taking it back to like visualizing the trick, if you could see yourself doing it, you could do it. Exactly. No matter how many tries. But if you're hesitating to try it, that's how you get hurt.
Yeah. Exactly.
You got to go full commitment, make sure you know what you're doing, make sure your mind sees it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Totally agree with what you said on that one.
Yeah.
I experienced that myself too, you know. Like
I think we all do.
Skaters,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, all of us.
Like,
I think sometimes like, what if I would have had this knowledge, you know, when I was 14? Younger, like what could I have done? Because I wasn't thinking about it. You know, it was just like something of the million things that kids do. I mean, I was addicted to it. I really liked the feeling, but I wasn't really thinking about trying to get better. I was just thinking of like trying to do something that gave you that, you know, that feeling.
Adrenaline rush.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question. Taking it back to when you first started, who took you under your wing or showed you what tricks or showed you skate videos?
When I got to the skate park, it's like, you know, back then skaters weren't like they are now. Like everyone, you know, skating is cool now. Yeah, we were kind of like little nerds. Like we were like, yeah, you know, we were just different. We were just like, there's a huge population of skateboarders that are like on the spectrum, because it takes this kind of hyper focus to really be able to and I don't say that in a bad way. I think it's I think that's like a genius. I think it's like I think it's the thing that helps.
Well, it makes me think of like Rodney Mullen.
Oh yeah,
I mean, the obsessiveness of something, but then he does something positive with it, you know.
Yeah, and they now they call it what neurodivergent. But really, it's just like everybody has a different way of thinking, and skaters just think different. So it wasn't like we weren't out there like just trying to get better. We were trying to fill our own thing. But there was one other girl at the skate park there were other girls, but that one in particular, my friend Kim Adrian, she was a few years older than me. And she was really good. In fact, it kind of blows my mind that she's not famous, because she was doing like backside airs and skating hard and fast, like in the 70s, when, you know, you just didn't see that as much. There are pros that came out of then, and she turned pro for a little while, but she had a knee injury. But she was so good, just like so good. And I, you know, as a little kid, you're like, oh, she's like anything if I could get her attention, you know. I thought that was cool.
In my opinion, I know there's like just so many great skaters out there. Like you think like you just said, like how are you not like famous, or how are you like this good but not get this much attention?
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like it's also what you do outside of skating.
Yes, exactly.
Like how are you promoting yourself?
Right,
like how are you getting your name out there? How are you standing out from all the crowd?
But it was in a different
if
time.
That's what you want.
Yeah, it was in a different time. People didn't self-promote back then. True. You know what I mean? There might have been people that are like, oh, the skateboarding is this big thing, and there's this kid. Let's take some pictures of them and get them out there. And those kids became like, you know.
It was kind of kooky to promote yourself.
Yeah,
you know
right.
I mean? So it's like,
I get embarrassed about my Instagram because it's like, that's not skateboarding, like putting yourself on the internet. But
it is now.
You know, when I started, it was like, I felt silly. I'd put, you know, but I get people that are like, oh wow, you know, I thought I was too old, but I'm gonna get out there and do it.
So you're out there inspiring people.
Yeah, it feels good. It does
cool.
feel good. You know, I'd be lying if I said I didn't like the attention from it, but
right.
It does get uncomfortable. Like, I don't even feel like a pressure to perform or a pressure to.
Yeah,
you know.
But just be yourself. That's all you can be, and then I think that's more authentic anyway. I think like us skaters, we can see when the people are trying to.
Yeah, skaters know bullshit.
Yeah, like, exactly. Yeah. So we're like, we can sniff that out right away.
Yeah.
So like, but what you've been posting, it's inspiring to see because like it gives other people like, wow, I can keep doing this. You know, I'm about to be 46 years old and I still get youngsters going like, oh dang, you know, like.
I know how 46 sounds really old to them.
Yeah, and then it's like I'm looking up to like Tony's Hawk age, you know, right now, like he's in his 50s and like that's my next goal, you know, and then we'll go from there and see who's still doing it, like Alva, you know, so
my bad, go
for I have a friend, my friend Freddie DeSoto, he just got inducted into the Skateboarding Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's amazing.
Congratulations.
He's a big deal, and Pat Noho also, who are both I know Freddie's a few years older than me. Pat may be my age, but they're still killing it. They're still out there, like, you know, in their 60s, like, killing it.
Skating poles and
stuff
like that,
yeah. And looking good while they're doing it. That's the thing that's missing. Like, style is kind of...
Yes, it is.
It's a thing.
Don't be afraid to say it.
Yeah, it is kind of missing. But I think a lot of it is because as we get older, that's really all we got left. So we're like, you know.
I'm sure, like, I'm going to post stuff that I probably don't like all my tricks, but like if I got something pretty good, I'm hoping it's going to be in a video part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what we try to save it for. But my Instagram's like, here, this is just for fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like style is important for sure.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a lot of people out there that can skate very well, but like if you don't put that little steez in it or whatever.
Yeah. And there's something about some people's style, like I get to skate with Eric Dressen like quite a bit because I'm friends with his girlfriend, and do you know Old Man Skate Crew then? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah. Shout out. Yeah. Actually, like Tim and Rigo are like good friends of mine.
Okay. Because I know Rigo is like kind of married into the family, Dressen's family, or something like that, right?
Let me remember. I can't remember exactly how it is.
He's connected to Dressen. Yeah.
But he's, you know, Dressen's a really cool dude. Mm-hmm. But he's almost like, because he's so popular and famous, and he's almost uncomfortable with it, it seems to me.
I've met him before, and he was kind of standoffish.
He's really humble, and he's just sort of like, and people probably take it like he's like, but it really, he just wants to go skate. And
all I asked him, I was like, "Are you still doing tattoos?" And he just like, "No." And then I was like, he gave me a look like, "Don't ask me for a tattoo."
That would be kind of cool though.
But I was like, "No, just ask me." I just wanted to try to break the ice.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But that's cool that you're good friends with them.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, it's like but he's one of the people that he's just really fun to watch. I mean, and it's like his grinds are bigger and everything just looks so capable. You know.
He's stocky too, and he's and he can still do all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I think he's probably more comfortable in his skin while he's rolling
on his board.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Most people are. I think we go back to those skaters that are just, you know, they're kind of odd and out in the world, but they can skate.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. You have something?
Yeah, I had something came to mind. Yeah. Like in the 70s, you didn't really see female skaters, did you? Like, did you ever get like any dirty looks from people like, "Hey, you're female, you're not supposed to be skating"?
Everyone thinks
or even from the guys.
Everyone thinks that, but like skaters were really cool. Like it's kind of how it is now. Like even as an old lady, I don't get hate. I don't get it's. And I know the internet's like a mean place, but like skateboard parks where you were just a skater, nobody was thinking about who you were and if you belonged there. Everyone was concentrating on themselves. Skate, yeah, as long as you could skate, you were like
You're
so and there were other girls. We didn't get, you know, it's kind of going away because there's a thing that happens with girls when they're being raised is people have lower expectations of them. So they perform at a lower level because the expectations are low. But now the expectations are risen and they're coming up to their expectations. So there's girls out there that are killing it as hard as the dudes. And it's because they're expected to. And that's, if that had been happening all the time, that we would have an even balance in a lot of sports. Of course, there's some sports where, you know, strength is a thing, but I think in skateboarding that I think it's going to level out. I think it's going to be.
I mean, I think so too. It's what your feet can do in your legs.
And it's a mental thing. I mean, I don't want to be sexist, but I feel like a lot of women are more mentally tough than men just because we've had to be over the years. And
I see them trying harder than I am. You know what I mean? They're taking slams where I'm like, I'm not going to go through that. I don't want to do. I don't like slamming anymore either. You know, so I'm like, let me do something I'm capable of, but. I do try to push myself sometimes.
I do say, like, every once in a while I'll fall, and it'll hurt, and you'll get up, and I'll be like, I'm kind of glad that happened, because I haven't fallen in a while, and when you haven't fallen in so long, you feel like you're really not trying, so I'll fall and go, oh, hey, I was kind of bringing it today, so I kind of like it once in a while.
Yeah, I just hate the freak accident ones, like I was skating at a little thing, and a bunch of people, so I was going towards one obstacle, someone beat me to it, and I was like, I'll just go this way, change my thought and went to that thing and I got hurt. Hey, oh no!
Yeah. That's where those skaters that are just phenomenal.
That can just.
I want to say when I very first came back to skateboarding, was the year that Daewon Song was Skater of the Year, and
2000.
2009.
Yeah, it was. 2006. 2000.
I think around that time.
Yeah, and does that sound right? I remember seeing him and thinking, I can't come back to skateboarding. This is what skateboarding is now. But I
had the same thought.
I was
when
like,
I was
what
younger,
the heck?
I grew up watching like virtual reality and stuff like that, Plan B, and then my brother started skating, and they were watching like what was it, Midik Madi and Sorry, and I was like blown away from that time period. I was like, okay, I guess I'll never be pro.
And then on the other side, you have these little. When I started skating, I skated Bellflower a lot, and I skated with George DeVille. We used to be there, and Louis Lopez was just a little kid. His hair was down to here, and just the nicest little kid. And his dad would come out and skate, and he would bring him, and I got to skate with him quite a bit. And I was thinking, these little kids are better than I'll ever be. Like, you know what I mean? But you have to get to a point where you quit comparing yourself and just focus on your own skating and what you want to feel.
I learned that right away when I came back again to skating. I was like, okay, I'm better than what I used to be at least. But but I see the kids nowadays and I'm like, yeah, this guy's rad.
Yeah,
I can't compete.
Quick question: What kind of stories can you say about Louis Lopez? Because I really like him.
Well, I didn't know that he was gonna get so good. I just I do too. I really like him too. But he was just really a pleasant little boy. Like he was. George DeVille had a little boy too. Well, he's a grown man now, but Christian, and the two of them would skate together, and then us old people would just kind of do, we frontside grind. Oh, look at us! Yeah. But these kids were over there killing it. Just like, so we were really there for us, and they were just entertaining themselves. I didn't know what he was going to be. I knew he was really good. And I knew he could skate everything, but when he started getting really, really good, I want to say, oh, I knew it, but
of course,
yeah, I mean, I could tell he was talented, but I didn't know that he would, keep his head in it, and because you never know, there's lots of little kids that are good.
I mean, we grew up watching Adam Alfaro back in the day.
Oh yeah,
he's not in the scene right now, but I've seen him on his board here and there around the area, so yeah, it's been cool to bump into him.
Chris Russell is another one that just a nice kid. And he would be out there, but I was skating with the old guys, and we're like, "Oh yeah, that kid's really good." And now he's like,
not on his board anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he had some kind of health thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah. All right. Do you have a local skate shop?
Okay, let's see. Because I like to go to local skate shops. I'm like, because that's the old lady and me. We love to shop. So Unmodern just opened up in Bellflower.
Okay.
We can shout out Unmodern.
Yes.
Because and I'm super stoked to have a skate shop because I always need something, and it's like I could walk there now. But I also like Two Felons.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
That's my local shop.
Yeah, and I've liked them for a long time. I like what they like to, they like to be kind of community based, and I feel like Unmodern is just opening in a new place because they're on Bellflower Boulevard now. But and I have a feeling they're going to do some stuff with the community too because
they usually always do.
Yeah.
They used to be right here at Santa Fe.
Santa
Spring
Fe,
Hall.
yeah.
They used to have night
The
ramp
mini ramp.
night.
Yeah, I don't know if this spot has room for. I'm hoping that they do a mini ramp in there, but we'll see. I don't know. I'll shop there anyway, even if they don't. Then I have a friend in I guess it's in Torrance. I don't even know, but Hardline.
Hardline. Oh, the new
Pat
shop.
Carmody and a bunch of other Howard Head and.
I've been wanting to make a trip out there.
Yeah, it's actually it's a nice shop.
Okay.
It's a really nice shop. So I get around. I get around a lot. Out skating. I retired, so now I can skate every day.
Oh, that's cool.
So when I'm not injured, but so I hit a lot of the skate parks, the skate shops. Around.
Skate shops.
Yeah.
And what's your board setup now?
Right now, I usually ride anti-hero.
Okay.
And I set up a new board, but I haven't ridden it yet, so I can't because I got injured.
It's ready to go.
But it's ready to go. But I ride anti-hero. It's always a deluxe. I like those kind of flat ones, and I'm riding Ace trucks, and I always ride Bones wheels.
What size of board?
I ride it. It's in between 8 3/4 to 8.5. It's like 8.68 or something like that.
8.68?
Yeah, 8.68.
That's cool. I love when people know their shape.
Yeah, and it has to be the anti-hero. It's the number 4 concave. It's like I didn't know that was a thing, but I got a new anti-hero and I thought it was the same size, and I was like, this feels like shit. Like, what's wrong with it? I held it up and they looked the same, and then somebody explained to me that they have different concaves. So I've got my old board, I peeled it up, I saw the Roman numeral number 4, and I shopped for one that had the number 4 on it. Sure enough, that's what it was. Yeah.
That's amazing that your feet can tell. Like,
yeah,
this is not what's going on here.
There's something wrong here. Like it just didn't feel. It felt horrible. So I had to get that exact one.
That happened to me. I had a board one time that I was like, I tried because I liked the twin paddle, and I tried to find something that was similar to it, and then I was like, I couldn't do none of my tricks. I was like, did I just suck now or what? Then I finally got the twin paddle board, and boom, here comes all my tricks. I go, it wasn't
okay,
me.
Yeah. And it's cool because with the deluxe boards, I can go to other brands besides Anti-Hero if I can't find it.
Right, and they have the same shape.
They have the same shape, yeah.
That's
so
cool.
is the shape more concave or more flat?
It's a little it's more flat. It's a little less concave.
In my opinion, like with flatter boards, for me, like shove, like any type of shove it variation is easy.
Yeah.
But like with like concave, that's when it gets kind of like it's more flippy.
Well, I think when you think of your feet and you land quickly and your feet leave, if there's too much concave, it's going to put that little extra move in the board.
Right.
Where if it's a little flat, you can land and gives you a little it kind of makes sense when you're but I feel more in control. It's a little
and with the bigger board too, like there's more space to land on.
Yeah.
But you're always in the bowls, so that's the
and I like the little longer wheelbase too. It's like more than 14 and a half. I like it to be like 14 and a half at least, maybe a little longer.
Yeah, I should try something different too, because like I can't really skate my street board on the mini ramp, so it's like the trucks turn too quick, the radius is too quick for me, so I have another board for that ramp, but I think I should try other stuff, man. Maybe I will be able to skate mini ramp. I just haven't found the right board.
I was riding like really big boards, like they were 9, a little bit bigger, and I came down to 8.5, and that's kind of like a sweet spot. But that one that's I just kind of like it just a little bigger. I don't know. I'm sure it's just personal preference. I feel like I don't think it has anything to do with your size or your. I think it's more the board feel than it is.
Okay.
Question. How long do you have a board for? Like, how long does it last you?
Mine lasts a long time. They're probably about maybe a little less than a year. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
me
a
too.
long
Like,
time.
Yeah, I kind of get tired of them, but I don't launch stairs. I don't, you know what I mean. I don't.
They don't feel soggy. They don't get soggy on
no.
flat.
But I don't. Maybe they do, but I just don't like changing them. I I like them. They get a little razor tailed sometimes.
Anti-Hero though, they make some good strong.
Yeah. They do. I bought that same Anti-Hero. I want to say it's been like 4 years that I've been riding that size and shape.
Yeah. Yeah, mine hasn't gotten razor tail yet, but it's feeling a little soggy now, so I might have to switch it out soon. But it's not ready yet because it's still got a lot of meat on it.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe I gotta I try to break it or like do something harder, like if it snaps.
Well, I have 2 sets of trucks, and that I alternate back and forth, and they're both grinded about the same. And so what I do, I get a new board, and I set them with the spare trucks, and I'll try it. And if I don't like it, then I'll go back to my setup that I already had, and then I'll set it. But if I do like it, I'll keep it. Then I'll have the other trucks for when I switch next time, and they rotate. It's like a whole system. Yeah.
They're both the same trucks, like same brand and all that.
Actually, they were, but 2 boards ago, I switched my Independence onto my, because I was riding Aces.
You're right.
But I like, so that's the what is the word, conundrum? I like the Aces, the way they turn in pools, but I like.
I think Aces are like the old Independent.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Right.
It seems like the front truck turns a little better, and but I like the sound of Independence when they grind. I feel like they make a better sound. I don't know. There's something about it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never noticed that. This sounds different, or of when it comes to the board.
Well, I've had some magnesium trucks, and those will be a different sound.
Yeah. So I just feel like Independence grind better, but I mean, maybe they just conned me with their "isn't built to grind." Their slogan.
And another thing that I like to add, you switch out your you have 2 sets of trucks that you switch out.
Yeah.
That's something that I never really thought of. I mean, I do that with my shoes.
Yeah.
So the outsole doesn't burn. Smooth out as fast. I always switch out my shoes every time. But with trucks, I should start doing that.
Yeah, I do. I just do it because I know I like both sets and they're comfortable, and that way I don't have to give up my setup for maybe,
Right.
Yeah. Because my next setup, I switched from my Anti-Hero to a Crooked, but it's the same number concave and it's the same dimension. So they're made in the same place. It should be exactly the same, but something in my brain is but what if it's not?
Well, Paul Rodriguez, he has a special board that he always has to have because they mold the boards and they make 8 boards or 10 boards and when they squeeze them. So he always has to have this certain press number. And then it has to be the 8th board down.
Yeah, well, that's what these are. It's the press number. That's what
is that what that is?
Yeah, it's
wow.
I don't know which direction it is or
that's
what
amazing.
But it's because the ones that are the higher numbers are the flatter, the less concave. And
right.
The smaller number is more concave.
That's amazing. That's so cool. Yeah, they always have to pull that board for him.
I didn't know that's why it was, but I knew there was something happening that it was different, but I didn't know what it was until somebody explained it to me.
That is so cool. Yeah. Did besides Vans, did you have any other sponsors?
Well, I rode for Vans for a little while, and then I rode for Sims.
Sims?
Yeah, I rode for Sims for and this was all in the matter of just a few years. You know what I mean? And it's all really. I was a little kid, and I was I really was oblivious to all of the things that were going on. To me, we'd go to contests, and so when you went to a contest, you usually got new stuff. And they would take you to this park you never skated before. Mm-hmm. So I was well, that's cool. I really didn't care about the contest. I just wanted to go get in the van, get new stuff, and go skate somewhere. And usually you'd see all the kids that you like to skate with all the time. It was just more and I think there's a lot of kids now that are doing that same thing. They're not trying to be pro skaters. They just want to go out and have fun with their friends. And that's pretty much what skateboarding was to me at that age. Was just.
I think that's more important. As long as you're doing it for fun. Because you could devastate yourself if you don't become pro. You know what I mean?
I had a lot of fun skating for Vans because the guy who ran the team was a guy named Everett Rosecrans, and he had 2 sons that were on the team that were both really good skaters, younger than me, and so we were out there. He was really hard on them, but not on us. We were just out there having fun. And so it was a fun, we'd go out to eat and we'd go play at the park and we'd go, skate. It was just, did shows at Knott's Berry Farm and, it was fun. But when I
I might have
skated,
saw one of those.
Oh,
They had
yeah,
like a Pepsi ramp.
yeah, we had like a ramp and
It was like clear. Yeah.
plexiglass. It was no flat. It's just like
it was just like a giant U
with PVC coping at the top, and there's no deck. There's no deck.
Yeah.
You just gotta fakie until you get to the top of it.
There was
and
like
you can
a
slide
bike.
on
There
it
was a
and-
bike guy. There was a
Yeah.
rollerblade guy.
Yeah,
There was a skater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were fun. So I had a lot of fun with them, but we used to smoke a lot of weed back then. It was like kids, and my parents somehow caught on that like
Skateboarding. and weed
that was
go hand in
so
hand.
so they didn't want me doing it anymore. And at the same time, Sims was kind of interested, and so I rode for Sims, and I didn't come home smelling like weed all the time when I skated for Sims. So
Okay.
yeah. And I could do with or without it, but it was just like sure.
No one's sending you anything nowadays.
People send me things now and then. I am a little bent at Vans because supposedly when you skate for Vans, you skate forever.
Forever. Oh.
But that's not true because
We'll have to ask. him.
yeah. But the Vans was really good to me. I had a lot of fun skating, and they were really trying to make it like.
Do you get to still go to the events though? Like if you were to roll up, like the last comedy.
I don't really push it. I usually know a friend or someone I could call, but who wants to do that? Like, and honestly, events are kind of like. I like to skate, and I like to go out and skate with my friends. Like the events are sort of like.
You're just there to spectate.
People are there, yeah. There's a lot of girl skaters. I'm not going to say any names, but there's a lot of girls that were skaters when I skated. They go to all the events, but they haven't skated in 30 years. But they go to every event.
Okay.
But
so they're still in the scene.
So, but that's kind of more.
You're like, I want to be on the board.
Yeah. I'd rather go skate. Like I'd go to the comedy contest and try to get a seat, or I could be at skate park skating.
While everybody's over there, the park's empty.
And they are empty. Yeah. That's like
true.
Yeah. So no diss to people that love that because everyone wants to go hang out with their friends. Right. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not ready for that yet. Maybe when I'm 80, I'll go to the events when I can't skate anymore. That's when I'll end up there.
Okay, but no one's like sending you like. Do you have any dream sponsors right now? Anything?
Dream sponsor? No. Well, I'm so weird about my board. I can't have a board sponsor because what if it's not exactly right? Then I'd have to skate it, and it's like,
This
This
is what the pros used to do. If they didn't like their boards, they would ride the ones they liked and sticker it up.
Yeah.
So you couldn't see.
Yeah, exactly. and then Bones would be cool because I only skate Bones wheels.
Okay.
But yeah, that'd be cool. Bones.
Heck yeah. Anything off the skateboard, like sponsorship, like I was gonna say not Ralph's, but anything else.
Anything but Ralph's.
Yeah.
I get hit up on Instagram a lot, and usually it's not even skate stuff; it's fitness stuff.
Fitness stuff.
Yeah, it's fitness stuff. But
that's cool.
I don't want to be a fitness model.
Right. It's like, here we're gonna send you this, and now we expect 15 videos.
Yeah,
You're like, wait, what?
but I do like skateboarding's kind of changed how it is. Like it's that's what everyone says. Are you sponsored? Are you But
because I would think that because like that nowadays I would think somebody would want to send you something because you are skating and you got eyeballs on you.
Well, I think it's a whole new demographic too because kids get skateboards and they but there's a lot of older people out skating now. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of like a whole.
Yeah, I love the fact that we like the people that, like you said, in the 60s, 70s, 80s that did it, and now they're coming back. Even if they took a hiatus, they're coming back to skating and doing it again. I love that.
Yeah.
Because that happened to me with my friend. He gifted me a skateboard, and he's like, "Dude, I think you need to start skating again."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Whatever." Then I was like, "All right," ollied up a curb, and I was like, barely made it. I was like, "I'm better than this." What the hell? That set it off.
I did have Housewife Skateboards sent me some boards. And have you ever seen them? There's a girl that has that Housewife Skateboards, and coincidentally, I think they're made. It's because I wrote it until I couldn't anymore, and it was I swear they're made in deluxe because it felt just like my other board. So I wrote it. That's the reason I wrote it is because I loved it. Okay. Because if otherwise I would have put it. But I do have people send me boards that I'm like, I'll ride it, make a video, and then it goes in my trunk and it ends up in some kids. Some kid's quiver that has a jacked up board. Yeah, that's the other thing we old people like to do is carry our old boards around and
gift it away.
Yeah, gift them.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
All right. Have you traveled anywhere for skating besides like in California or?
Not really outside of California. Before I was working. Now we've been playing. I really want to go to Colorado, but yeah, I haven't even got my real ID. I have to go get my real ID so I can. They have that now, the real ID.
I don't know what that is, like a real ID. Like everybody has.
It's called a real ID.
So everybody has to supposedly get one, or
get a new ID.
Yeah, to travel out of the country, no.
To go out of the country to get on a plane, you have to have it.
The little bear on the side.
Because I have to fly to Oklahoma, so I have
the driver's license doesn't work anymore.
It's a new driver's license where they check your Social Security and your birth certificate.
They just sent me a new driver's license, but I don't.
It probably read the inserts. It'll probably tell you something about it. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I know. I just found out the other night that I have to get that. I was like, because I don't keep up on things. Jeez. But I would like that. There are a lot of places I'd like to go. It looks like Portugal has a lot of skateboarding, and Spain has a lot and there's and now I'm just kind of settling into retirement life. Because I worked 42 years for them, and now I'm. All my time is mine. I can do whatever I want. Yeah. So, yeah, I'd like to travel. I have a lot of friends that older people that live in Canada that skate, and I'd like to go up there and skate with them.
That'd be cool. But, yeah, I mean that's sad to say that MACBA got shut down. Now they're tearing it out. So, the dream of going to MACBA is now. Yeah.
You have to get a new dream. Get a new dream. And it's like. Yeah, there's a bunch of guys that go up and do this Montana trip where they have all these big, really nice bowls, and I'd like to go do that one. Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
I've went up north to Oregon through Oregon and seen that they got some massive pools out there. I mean, just
I skated that a couple of years back, quite a few years back. I skated at Lake Cunningham skate park up there. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's huge. It's got a full pipe and it's just enormous. It's it looks like one of those fake pictures of. Where they make these skate parks that are just immense. That it looks like that, but it's real. It has just tons of bowls and.
All right. Do you have a dream trick that you want to do still, or?
In my head, I'm thinking about trying to get frontside airs back, but it's really hard to bend all the way down and grab my board. But since I've been working out, I'm getting a little more.
Right. But, yeah, if I grab my board, I'm not coming back up.
Yeah, I have to get to where I can grab my board without holding my breath, because you can't hold your breath and do it. So you have to get to where I go, and then grab my board.
Yeah, okay.
So
good to know.
The trick is to try to keep breathing while you can grab your board. But I used to say, it's because I'm tall, but then I see all these tall people grabbing their frontside airs. Yeah. But I do. I really would like to do. I was working on. Because I started mini ramping during COVID. I wasn't really a mini ramper. I just kind of skated bowls and so all my mini ramp tricks are new. I've learned them in the last few years. I didn't do them. I learned them when I was in my late 50s. So I really want to learn. I want to do the fakie to frontside pivot and then back in. And I thought it looks easy, but it's not easy. It's
is Bellflower Skate Park, the one next to
the riverbed,
the riverbed, right? And you have to walk down a little path and send you off to Why would you put the skaters way over here?
Right between this sewer and that sewer.
Right, and then and then no shade.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that has a good.
Yeah, that's right.
To learn stuff.
The problem is I learned things on that little tiny mini ramp, and then I don't take it any bigger. I need to start taking it somewhere else a little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger, yeah. Yeah, I've only wanted to go there so I could start learning on the small part.
Yeah, it's great I had this epiphany about mini ramp tricks though. Somebody told me about it, and I kind of was like, yeah, whatever. And then I watched a Mitchie Briscoe video, and I don't remember what it was on, but and then my friend Sinan told me, he goes, yeah, this pro skater told me that it's all about locking in your back wheel, your heel side wheel, and when I got this information, this valuable information, is when I hurt my knee. But it's been in my brain ever since that it's all about locking that little back wheel in. And I realized that's why some of my tricks are lame, because I don't do that. I need to get that feeling of my back wheel locking on. For my 50-50s are kind of lame. I get up there and they just I'm really kind of rolling. They're not really, I can lock in if I have momentum, but I haven't like locked it on and like popped it on there. So I need to get that little.
Are you getting the 50/50s on top or like
On top.
inside?
Well, on top, and then as I get on top, and then I lean in.
Okay.
But I want to get them where I'm in the entire time.
You're in the entire time.
Yeah.
That's how he does them. He does the 50/50.
So you
inside.
probably get your back wheel locked really good, right? And so I
It looks cool. I like
I
it.
wasn't aware of that. Like it never occurred to me that that's what it was. I'd ask people and they go, "Oh, you just put your front truck on and but I'm like, I'm doing that and I'm just rolling out. It's like so it's like getting that little with your back wheel is like, that's what it is. So as soon as I'm back, as soon as my knee's better, that's going to be my focus.
Yeah. Well, you said you have to do surgery for the knee?
Yeah.
What injury is it? Like a meniscus or?
It's my ACL.
ACL.
I have a complete tear of my ACL. So
yeah, Peralta has knee injuries and he's had surgeries, and I know he'd say that he wishes he didn't do the surgery.
Yeah, I think there's different surgeries. There's like there's all these different things in your knee. There's the ACL, the MCL, the PCL, the meniscus, and so the one that stabilizes your knee, I guess, is the ACL, and it's completely torn. So and I'm really good at rehab, and I kind of feel like when you do a surgery, you owe it to yourself to do the rehab.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what did you do
nothing.
it for? Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't take the rehab. I mean, I have no idea of how.
Right.
But I feel
the ones that complain probably didn't do the rehab.
Yeah, I had shoulder surgery because I had dislocated my shoulder. It just wasn't getting better. So they said, okay, you need surgery. There's a tear that's not getting better, and immediately I got better after the surgery. I went a whole year of pain. And then got the surgery, and within just a few weeks,
it was like, I should have done this sooner.
I should have done it like a year ago, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I remember, I didn't do no physical therapy for my ankle, and I just tore the ligaments in it. It didn't even break. It just tore them all. But I didn't do the physical therapy, and now it doesn't move the same. It should, So.
Okay, I got something for you, because I've sprained my ankles regularly because I was a basketball player. Like I can just walk down the sidewalk. And one on Instagram, this company gave me a slack line on a board, and just standing on it rehabs your ankle.
Oh, really?
And all of a sudden, I started kind of getting better at my mini ramp tricks because my ankles were stronger, and so your balance, my balance was a little better. But it's so slack line training. So this is if you think about it, when it's just a little you stand on it and your foot starts shaking.
Yeah,
because
he does a little ball, right?
That's what I want to jump in and ask about. Do you know what a Bosu ball is?
No.
Think of just like a yoga ball, but half of it with like a platform on it.
Oh, I do know what it is. I do know what it is.
I do that all the time.
It's probably the exact same thing.
And I do like circular motion, so like it's just rolling on my ankles.
Is it like the size of a basketball?
No. It's like this
bigger.
big. It's big. It's pretty big. So you could like jump on it, and like it mimics a skateboard.
Yeah.
So like I do I'm riding a skateboard. I'm doing my kickflip. So I just jump and I land back on it. That takes skill to learn. Yeah. And I do a lot of like 1 foot balancing, like pistol squats, monk squats, dragon squats. Like I've like gotten really good at it. And for my first skate part on Robin Hood, I had like fell, but like I rolled my ankle. My homie's like, "Oh my god, dude, like, are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm alright, yeah." And then I get up and I do the trick, and he's like, "Dude, like, what are your ankles made out of? Like,
I know,
rubber?"
right? Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, I I do this Bosu ball, and it keeps my ankles okay."
It sounds like it's the same thing, but I'm gonna look into that because it sounds kind of more fun.
It is fun.
The slack line is fun though. It's like even just try to walk on it. You try to stand.
Did you have to have 2 trees or poles?
No, because this one is just a giant board. It looks like a snowboard with concave. It goes like, and then it hooks to both sides.
I know
of the board.
exactly what you're talking.
Yeah, so I just keep it in my living room so that I see it, and then I just get on it every day. I usually do it after my workout. Before I get in the shower, I do it for a little while, and then I'll try any kind of to see if it's fun. If it's not fun, you're not going to do it.
And how you said, like, when I had asked you like a little earlier ago, like, oh, like what workouts do you do? Like, oh, I like to ride around the board, just to warm up. And like the Bosu ball mimics that.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good. And you keep it in your trunk and just kind of
exactly
do a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up.
That's
I'm
cool.
gonna hit them up on Instagram. See if they
Yeah.
can
You guys
Bosu
interested
ball.
in me making some videos?
Yeah, that because really, what it's a lot of as you get older, you see how people move, and they lean a little farther forward. They have like a tip to their hips that makes them not as tall, and they don't do as much lateral movement. So you lose that balance. That's like, like I can stand on one foot forever. They say, oh, if you're, they do those tests like, if you can't do this, this is how old you are. Your mind body connect. So I don't want to go out like that. Like I want to keep moving as long as I can. So I'll do whatever I have to do.
I think the skating will keep us moving for a long time. Yeah, because I mean, as long as we are doing something like that, like I see, like I go outside and I skate the driveway, and I'm like. And, I see the neighbor, he's playing his volleyball, whatever. And I'm like, at least we're outside doing something. I see people walking by and I'm like, I wonder if they're like, if they knew I was 46 years old, would they be more impressed? Because they're just ignoring me right now.
I know. That's why I don't color my hair. Because like the older I look, the more impressive it is. So I'm just like.
One thing about that though, like I work at a school. So like a lot of kids are like, you look like a teenager. And I'm like, no, I'm 28, bro. I'm old.
That's funny.
I'm getting there. But
my kids are like my oldest daughter is 30. She's gonna be 38 this year. My oldest daughter, and so I'm like, wow, I'm gonna have 40-year-old kids pretty soon. Like, that's crazy. That's like.
Do they still skate or do they? Skate
no, they never really skated. My middle daughter, she's had a board before, and she'll they all of them can skate. You know what I mean? Like, some people get on a skateboard and it's like,
and they can't.
It's like, no, my kids can all skate.
Push on a skateboard.
But they don't like that falling thing. That's a totally different kind of person that can fall and then not be like, screw this. Like, you know what I mean? It's not for everybody. But my granddaughter skates with me.
Okay.
Yeah, she's 8. She's 8,
cool.
So she's a little cautious. She's not as crazy as I was as a kid, but I mean, I kind of prefer that because I got to bring her home in one piece.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
I wanted to ask, how many kids did you have?
I have 3.
3?
Yeah, I have 3 daughters.
So
you get girls too.
Yeah, I have 5 sisters and 3 daughters and 2 granddaughters. So.
Question now. When your parents you had 5 other siblings, and they're all female. Was your dad like, dang it, like, why no girls? Why no boys yet?
He might have been, but he didn't imply that to us. But he'd go outside and play baseball with us. He's the one that really got us into sports. And my mom was pretty athletic too. He's like.
Did that come across your head when you had your 3rd daughter? Like oh, a girl again, okay, or oh man.
I don't know. Like we were kind of weirdos. Like to me, like girls, it's kind of better because you can have girls like they can be cute. You can dress them up. But you can also do sports, and like now you do that with all kids because now we know that gender roles are just like bullshit. Like a kid is a kid. Yeah. But back then, I guess my dad was kind of ahead of the game. You know what I mean? He was like, "Yeah, you want to do that? Let's go do it."
That's cool. And he didn't say, "No, that's not that. You're a girl. You can't do that. You're supposed to play with."
Yeah. Well, I had like a kind of a weird childhood. My mom left when I was pretty young, right about the time I was skating. As my mom left and we all stayed with my dad. Oh. So we were all raised by my dad, and he was pretty much like, okay, whatever you want to do, you can do.
Shout out to your pops.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But I know that's crazy too. Like, cause we were not easy kids.
I bet.
We were like,
sneaking out.
It was like, it's amazing.
Coming home smelling like pot.
We did not make it easy for him. We did not make it easy for him. That's for sure.
That's interesting, because usually it's like the dads leave.
Yeah.
And, my mom left, honestly, I've never heard of that. Like
especially back then. Yeah. It was weird. But I had a lot of sisters. Like my sisters were young teenagers at the time. That they were like in early 20s to late teens.
Question: were you the youngest?
No, I have one younger sister.
Oh, okay. Second youngest.
Second to the youngest. Yeah. Yeah.
That's so cool.
But we were left on our own quite a bit, and that's where the skateboarding came
Latchkey kids.
Yeah.
Same here. I mean, pretty much parent was at work, a single mom,
Yeah.
So I just pretty much raised myself, and luckily I knew pretty much right from wrong. I did a lot of wrong too, but I tested the waters, and then I got in trouble. And,
I mean, there's like getting in trouble, like the way my dad was. If we got in trouble for doing something that didn't hurt anybody, he was kind of like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. But we weren't allowed to be disrespectful to people. We weren't allowed to be, and I kind of was, I don't know. I knew right from wrong. Right. I wasn't going to do anything that would victimize someone, but most of my trouble I got in only hurt myself, right. That's like, so that's good trouble.
Take away your skateboard. Did they ever do that?
Oh no. No. I mean, honestly, like it was just, we were left on our own so much. I don't even remember getting disciplined much.
Right.
You just,
They probably say, you're in trouble, and then 10 minutes later, what are you
Don't
doing
forget,
here?
there's so many kids, like, they don't even remember which one they were mad at. Like,
That's cool, that's cool. Hobbies off the skateboard?
I'm kind of a reading nerd. Like, I really love to read. And that's the only thing that's going to get me through with this knee injury is there's like so many books I like to read. I like to hang out with my granddaughters. They're, when my kids were little, I had to work all the time. Mm-hmm. So, I had a job where I got to spend a lot of time with them too, but not as much as I would have liked to. So now that I have grandkids, it's like, it's cool just to be able to hang out with them whenever I want.
Get to do it again.
Yeah.
And hand them right back.
Yeah. But I like to read science fiction. I'm like into Octavia Butler right now. I don't know if you know who Octavia Butler is, but.
No, but.
Yeah.
Science fiction?
I was about to ask you, what kind of books are you into?
Yeah, right now it's like science. It's all this like futuristic dystopia stuff, and but I'll read pretty much anything. I'll start it, and if it catches my interest, I'll finish it. If it doesn't, I'll move on to something else.
That's cool. You don't force yourself to finish it.
Yeah.
You know what? I just got into reading. And it kind of helps me out with skateboarding when I'm doing my tricks. Like I could see my tricks clearer because I don't know, my mind is.
It's probably activating a part of your brain that you need. It kind of slows it down. Like when I was a kid, I was hyper. I mean, I couldn't focus on anything. And then when I was in my 40s, I got diagnosed with ADHD. So then all of a sudden I was like, oh, that's why I was that way. But I don't think I don't feel like there was anything wrong with me. I just feel like some things were like society is just not ready for us. You know what I mean? They throw you guys all in a classroom and, and expect these results from these kids that just think differently. Mm-hmm. So I feel like once I knew that, I looked at everything a little different. Like it gave me, finding out what was wrong gave me like permission to be myself.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I wouldn't even say what was wrong, just what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, oh, this is why you do this. And I'm like, oh, okay, like that makes sense.
I have something to add about that because you have ADHD, and I've worked with kids that have behavioral problems, and ones that I've had, had ADHD, and the things that I would just see was it's hard for them to sit still.
Yeah.
And don't quote me on this, but from what I remembered in one of the classes I was taking, that a person that has an ADHD mind, it has to do with I forgot the term, but it's just not enough activity in your brain.
Yeah.
So it's like your brain is has less activity.
They call it like an executive function disorder.
Okay. That's why your brain is like, oh, I need that energy. I need to move because I don't have enough that your brain wants it. So that's why you always feel like you have to move.
It's like you need that dopamine to make everything work. I always I'll say my husband, he knows how I am. So he'll be talking to me and I'll have my phone and I'm playing a game on my phone while he's talking to me, which sounds rude, right? Like people are like, oh my gosh, he's just playing on her phone. But it honestly helps me focus on what he's doing because it keeps me dialed in. If I didn't have, I'd be looking for something to quote.
Right. Yeah. You can't help that. Yeah. That you can't help but have to fidget or do something in order to focus because that's what a lot of the kids that I worked with they had to do something. Your ball
would help with that. If you had them all standing on those things while you're talking to them, I bet they'd hear everything you said. But if it's you know what I mean? They do that. They let kids sit on those yoga balls. They do all kinds of stuff. Or just sort of a nice heavy blanket or some type of stimulation to help them relax. Yeah. And I've always been a fidgeter,
Same. I always carry my tech decks. I always carry a fidget spinner.
Yeah, exactly.
And just to help me. I mean, I don't have ADHD, but I like to fidget.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a thing I went because I was having issues with headaches. And so when I went, I always kind of suspected I had it, but it wasn't life-changing and you have this diagnosis.
Right.
It really, I don't take it as, it's nothing I didn't know. All the things she's oh, you're probably like this. Yeah, that's how I am. But it didn't change anything. That's still who I am.
Right.
You still got to get through this world, and you know. But there's such a huge number of us in skateboarding, and I think that's because it gives us that dopamine that we need to help us. There's times if I'm working through something in my brain, by the end of my skate session, I have it figured out. Or I'll have an idea that I'm like, I'm not quite sure where to go with it, and by the end of the skate session, I have it figured out.
That's right.
It's just like
you know, one thing that I like to add, that I just learned this, you know, from a TED Talk, that when two parents help raise a child, like with you know, childcare and housework, the childs grow up like with less. They have less likelihood of getting ADHD. You know?
Really? Yeah, I could see that. They're probably because I'm thinking they say some kids kind of grow out of it, and a way to grow out of it is by finding healthy routines and finding and you kind of, some people kind of learn how to do that over the years. Like when I get overwhelmed, I have a lot to do, I just write down a list, and you know, and it could be like the weirdest list, like don't forget to take a shower, don't forget, like, you know what I mean, things that so you can put things in order and get everything done.
Writing it out, like, you know, it's just getting the words from your head to like paper. And like, oh, it relaxes you know, because you have so much. Everybody has so much thoughts running through their head, you know. Yeah. And writing it out, like, okay, like, oh.
Well, so I think there are a lot of people who have it, like you may have it, but you're high function, like you found the thing that gets you going, and you found the thing. So because you found that thing, you're able to focus it. But there's tons of people who have it who haven't found that thing. Yeah. That unfortunately for me, the thing for me is skateboarding, which is not going to get me anything except for joy, which that's cool with me. You know what I mean? I got nothing else to do.
Hang on. That may not be true, you know. What if one day, you know, like you figure something out to make a living out of it?
Yeah,
you never know.
That'd be cool. You know, we talked about doing our little podcast, but like even when you contacted me, I was like, oh, I mean, I'm kind of boring. Like, you sure you want to do this? But
not at all.
Everybody has a story.
Yeah.
And you have an interesting story.
Oh,
that's what I think.
And plus, we do, you know, of course, we want to hear your story as well, but we do want to get more females on the show too as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because I mean, they're out there busting their butt as much as we are.
Well, there's so many, and there's a lot of interesting stories out there too. Like there's that Lisa Whitaker from Meow Skateboards is local.
Okay.
She's like and I mean, she's how old is she's got to be in her late 40s maybe, and she started Meow Skaters, and she was a filmer like in the 90s, a girl filmer, and she has all those she's got some really good videos out. That she's a really good filmer, and she's really she's cool. Like she's kind of shy and kind of quiet, but there's a lot going on with her. She's like she's got
I mean, everybody, like, it's cool because every skater in here is either, they don't just skate, they also are a musician, they're a photographer, they're a filmer.
That's my thing. Like now I'm kind of getting into filming. Filming is kind of a fun thing. Like it's like
it's because you're still documenting what you love.
Yeah. So I got this little injury right now, so that's my thing. I'm gonna go out, and I just found out that GoPro does live, like it'll track. I have the 360 GoPro.
Okay, so to follow you.
Their new software, editing software, you can choose a subject and it'll follow it. And so I played with it with some old footage, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like it just changes the whole editing. You know, it makes it so much less tedious.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to add about that is I honestly believe like every skater should have a camera and record everything that they do, and you know, edit it, post it. And, you know, like, see if you get feedback from it, like, oh, do this better. Yeah. And just to get it out there, you know, it's good.
That, you document yourself, and then later on you can go look at it, and you're like,
that's what I like to do. I'll look at my first ones, and then I'll look and see, are they getting any better? Like, I actually, like, I posted a few videos where, when I was learning a trick, and, like, I post my lame attempts, and then the one that I barely got. And then a little while later, I'll go back and post the, and they do really well. And they're the lamest videos. Like honestly, like the skating is like totally subpar.
Some people want to see that,
but it's relatable to people.
To get there.
Yeah, it's relatable to people who like, I want to try to learn that. You know what I mean? Like watching a pro do it is one thing. Like, of course you can do it. You're a pro. But watching some old lady do it, like all of a sudden it becomes like doable. You know?
Like I should be able to do that too.
What's wrong with me?
You know what you said of like every skater should record themselves, and like, you know, when I was younger, like 14, 2000 and 2005, I used to watch a lot of Viva La Bam, and I was really into that show. Like I want my own TV show like
Yeah,
Bam
yeah.
Margera. So now that we have our phones, I like posting stories of like not just me skating, but what I do in my daily life, my
Right.
quick updates,
Yeah.
helping out my mom, feeding
Yeah.
my cat, the little simple stuff.
To show that you're human,
Right,
the things that
exactly.
humanize you.
And-
I've always wanted to post pictures. My kids don't like me to put my grandkids on Instagram because
I mean,
yeah, and I have to respect them.
I
But my
understand
granddaughter
that.
loves for me to post it. Like if I'll post her, she'll go, "Am I viral? How many likes do I have?"
that's funny. Yeah.
That's funny.
See,
Shout
that's,
out.
yeah, but then those are the ones that, when they're kids, it scares me when they're
Yeah,
little.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you don't want the wrong attention.
Yeah,
I could agree with that because
Yeah,
I have a 3-year-old
Yeah.
and my girlfriend also like reminds me like, hey, like let's not like post you
Yeah,
so much,
yeah.
you know. So like
Yeah, because I mean, you could probably have a family page, something like that, where it's
Yeah.
private, and you
Yeah.
can share it with the fam and all that stuff. But as far as like, if you're trying to go viral
Yeah.
and you're trying to get everybody's attention, you don't.
And people are funny too because they feel like they know you from Instagram,
Mhm.
and so they're like, but you don't know who they are. Like I mean,
We're starting to get that now a little bit, like with the show,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like they're like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, "Hey," I never met him before,
Yeah.
but they're walking up to
I
me
know.
like that.
That's why I think I asked you. I like hey, no, it was another guy. There's a guy doing a I was like, have I met you? Do I like because I feel bad. Like if I
Yeah.
met you, I feel like I should know you. But it's hard, sometimes it's hard to correlate who the real life
who.
person
Yeah.
and the Instagram person. Like
That's true. Like
is this a real person or is this?
I've even seen like even people with, like I wear sunglasses on the show, but then when they see me without them, they're like, "Oh, you look different." Like, I wasn't
Do
sure
you
if
put
it was
your glasses on and go, "Oh,
Oh
here
yeah,
I
that's
am."
you. Yeah, there you are.
Yeah. That's the dream sponsor is the Ray-Bans.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's it.
there you go. Dream sponsor,
Shout out.
Ray-Bans.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Like all the viewers, like my brother, for example, he always sees Skate Show on the show with his sunglasses. So
Yeah.
he's wondering, how does his eyes look like? Is he
Does he have them?
Does he
Yeah.
is he stoned or does he have someone die?
Do you skate
Oh my
with
God.
glasses on?
Yeah, I do.
Dude, I can't skate in sunglasses.
I mean, because my eyes are super sensitive
Yeah, me
to
too.
the sunlight, and like I remember the eye doctors always told me you should wear sunglasses.
Yeah, they tell me that too. I
And-
just can't though. It's just.
And then if the cement is like blinding,
Yeah.
I have.
I've had that. Have you gotten like that snow blindness thing, like where your eyes just
I always
water
wear
and, like-
sunglasses.
yeah, I've gotten it a couple
Say
I
times.
think
snow
I think back in the
blindness?
day when I wore
It's the
regular
reflection.
glasses.
from
Like,
like
yeah.
snowboarding.
Well, people get it snowboarding, but you can
Yeah.
get it from the concrete too.
Oh, I didn't know about concrete.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you go out there, it reflects in your eyes, and then you'll like go home and like my eyes will just tear. It'll happen for like a day or two. Like they'll just.
Wow.
So that's probably really
You
bad.
could
like,
you could burn your retinas and
Yeah.
stuff like
Oh,
that.
that's
yeah, they tell me that I should in bright sun I should wear glasses.
Yeah.
All the time, but I can't. They're really hard for me to skate in. And the only ones I think I could skate in is those goofy wraparound.
The wraparound. you need the peripherals.
Yeah,
huh?
I don't know. I mean, it's gonna ruin my aesthetic. Like, I look more like an old lady without them. Maybe I can get some like cat eye. Like,
So now they know the secret. I look younger with glasses.
That's yeah, that's it.
All right. Do you guys have any questions, Ryan?
Yeah. So if you were to make a skate part, what song would you pick?
You know
good
what? I
question.
yeah, that is. I can't really pick an exact song, but I'm into this funk thing lately, and I feel like funk music just fits my style and my speed of skating.
Okay.
So I listen to this band called Galactic Funk. Galactic. And they're sort of like an instrumental funk kind of.
I see.
Yeah.
And for skate parts, usually the last trick is like the gnarliest trick or like the most tech trick. Like what kind of trick do you think you would pull? Like the trick and a spot. What would you pick?
For the ender?
I feel like
for
my
the
ender has to be at Bellflower because that's kind of like and I want to go in the deep and pull a good big old frontside disaster
Ooh.
to board slide in that pocket.
That'd be a good
That'd
one.
be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and I feel like it's doable. If you would have asked me sooner, I would have said front Smith, which I should know, and I can't do those yet.
Okay.
But they'll come. I'll get that one. But I started doing backside disasters, and they're super fun. They're fun to like snap them. So I want to learn how to snap them front side to a little board slide.
They look nice too when they do them, like
Yeah,
all nice and
yeah,
quick.
yeah. It's a really. I think that's like the most fun trick I do is the backside disasters. I like inundated Instagram. People are probably so sick of watching my little lame backside disasters. 'Cause That's all I post.
Who cares what other
I know,
people
right?
think?
I don't.
Who cares?
One of my hashtags is like, I do what I want. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you see me like my Instagram and you see me skate, it's the exact same thing. Like, what is it? Like,
I got my same 3 tricks.
That's
do.
it, I
You know
know,
what I mean? Like in the bowl, I got 3 tricks, man. That's all you're gonna get until I learn something new. But
yeah.
I think I went and bought the 3-foot ramp, and I was like, because I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna learn this. Like,
Yeah.
It's gonna be, and then I was like, maybe I should have got a smaller one because
3 foot is a good size though.
it's good.
Yeah, that's a really good size. I feel like
I got hurt on it. I slammed my knees on the coping.
yeah. Oh,
And I was like, bam! And I took a tumble down. And I was like, okay, I'm not trying that trick no more. And then that was it.
yeah.
But it's just, I got to get out there and just do it.
There's things like the disaster. I do them on the little one. They actually feel better on the bigger one. It's just harder to pull the trigger to do it. But when you do it, it's easier.
to get into. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier to get in and out of because you can.
Are you
rock out of it.
ollie into it, or are you like kind of like shredding?
It's sort
into
of
it?
like a floaty ollie. I don't do like a clean and go. It's more like a,
Okay.
but I just try to get I try to get it to have a little air. I don't like it like a slide. That's a lip slide. That's a totally different trick.
Okay.
So I don't want it to be a lip slide. But sometimes when I do them, I'm like, that was a lip slide. That's
Okay. Good to know
but I try
because
to
I
go.
probably did a lip slide then.
yeah. So I there's but people call it whatever they want. Like, it's like there's no law. You can call it.
Not anymore.
I know.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
I got a couple questions. Ryan, any more questions?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, I got a couple. So, who would you like to see next on the show?
Oh, that's interesting. Let me think. And you guys pull from all around here, right?
Anywhere, yeah.
Have you guys had Santana Saldana on the
Not
show?
yet.
Oh, he's a really good guy.
Okay.
His name is I'm going to say he's the best skater to come out of Bellflower Skate Park.
Wow.
Look him up. He's like, and this kid is like, he's a kid. When I remember when I first went to Bellflower, he was probably a younger teenager, and he's always been good. But he, he's gone to Tampa Am, and he's he's a sponsored skater, and he's like, a local hero in Bellflower.
Hey, let him know. Let him know to come down.
Yeah, right.
Look
But
for
he's super chill and thoughtful, and just a good vibe. But the most amazing skater to watch. Like it just looks effortless. He looks like you're watching an animation of somebody. You know what I mean? Because everything's so smooth and perfect.
Floaty.
I get that with Luan.
Luana Rivera?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, like is this
Shout out.
real? Like he looks like AI.
That's like
It's
just years and years of skating and just to see how crispy and effortlessly it looks.
And I think he's really got his mind-body connection is just got to be like crazy good.
Right.
Because everything just looks so simple to him. And to be that way and just have such a humble, cool vibe, he's all about like, being happy and being good to people and everything. Yeah, he's a good dude.
That's amazing.
Shout
I'd
out,
like to get
shout
him
out.
on the show.
We're gonna come looking for you. Shout out for that one. Okay, I got 3 more questions. Who's your favorite male skater and your favorite female skater?
I'm pretty okay. I have 2 favorite female skaters. I really like Lizzie Armanto because she's so creative and artistic, but I also like Ruby Lily. So, and they're both transition skaters. So, there are street skaters that I'm like, but my love is in transition skating. Yeah. So I'd say Lizzie Armanto and Ruby Lily are my favorite male skaters. There's oh my gosh, there's so many. Day one, yeah. Day one.
He could skate.
He just turned 52. No?
Yeah.
Shout out.
The Manny Pad God.
Oh yeah, and just it's beside. There's so many good skaters, and he's like obviously one of the best skaters in the world. But when you show up at the skate park, he's just like sessioning with the locals, and he's just like, just adds so much positivity to every session that I see him out there filming little kids. He's like he's just really a pleasure.
That's why I feel like when I skate with Jeremy Ray, he's the one filming everybody. I'm like, dude, we should be filming you, bro. Like, what are you doing?
And the other guy that's like that, I go to Venice a lot, and Andy Anderson.
Oh my God.
He's just so fun to skate with. Like, even if he wasn't Andy Anderson, you'd be like, hey, that dude at the skate park.
Yeah.
Like, he's so cool. Yeah.
The most creative skater.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
He's just really a pleasure to. I mean, yeah, I just know him as some lady from the skate park. You know what I mean? But he's always super humble, super approachable, and both of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a couple more questions, 3 more questions. So, when you wake up in the morning, what drives you to like get your day started? Like,
you know, when I'm not injured, because right now I'm injured, but really what I want to do is I want to bring myself joy, because I spent 42 years like just kind of like in a job that was a good job. I'm not complaining about my life, but it was like I could have been they could have stuck any robot in that job that would have got it done, right? So I want to be able to make a positive impact somewhere in the day, right? So if it's for me skating and going, like, besides just skateboarding, I love to go to the skate park and meet people, because that's like my social circle now. Like, and my friend base is so immense now. You know, I have kid friends, I have old people friends. I just met a girl at the skate park. Her name is Ngazi, and she was a roller skater turned skateboarder, and she's just like she's getting better so fast, and I want to see it. I want to watch it. I want to watch it happen. You know what I mean? So
That's
it's
amazing.
like, yeah, just seeing positivity and seeing progression, even if it's not my own. You know, I want to. That's what I look for in the day. That's what gets my dopamine going, you know.
I mean, it's
awesome.
Cool, because then you're going to see that person in the future, and you're going to be like, I remember when they first started. Just like
I
Ruby.
remember Ruby Lily when she was just a little girl killing it, and I was like, you know, the same with Lucy Armando.
And you seem proud of it, you know, you're proud of them, where they come from.
Yeah, I feel like I did something.
Yeah.
you know, just from watching it. Yeah, I love to watch skateboarding. I love to skate. I just like to, you know, I like people who are getting a stoke. I like to feed off their.
Especially if you give them like a little trick tip, and then you know, and then even if it, you know, of course they're way better later on, but at that time, like I remember showing a little kid how to like nollie out of the transition. All you gotta do is just kind of like bonk it, you know, and he's like, he took off with that trick.
Oh,
man. He's
yeah,
flying on the bowl. I'm like, man, I was like, dude, look, what did I do to you, man?
I know.
Like,
I'm like that lady too. Like, you know how like I can't do it, but I can see what you're doing wrong. Like I can't do it, but I can see it. Yeah. And that's where I was telling you about Fred Morales said that he sees it. He's like some people have that gift for it, but you don't want to bug people when they're skating, you know what I mean? But sometimes you're like, oh, I know what it is. Like I have to give it to you.
And you're not gonna tell if they're pissed off. You're not gonna try to give them any trick tips.
No,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
You know, but if they seem like they're in a good mood, I'm like, hey, dude, you know, try this a little
That's
bit.
how I learned the backside disasters. I didn't even know. I never, you know, I thought, oh, I can't do those. They happen too fast. I'm too old to learn that now. But I was watching a little girl try to learn them, and I could see what she was doing wrong. Like she was just like trying to twist her feet without like getting the rest of her body around. And I was like, so I started trying to help her, and I found the need to show her. I go, well, I'm not gonna be able to do it, but I'll show you what I mean. And I almost got it, and I was like, oh, okay, I might be able to learn this. So it's like, it opened it up a bunch of possibilities. But I like going to meeting someone new. I like going out to like meeting new people, and like even you guys like this. I'm kind of stoked on this. Like I like it being on, you know, live is like one thing. Just sitting around talking is kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Okay, I got 2 more questions, but I'm gonna combine it to one. So you got any advice for the youth, and what's next? What's next for you?
I would say for the youth, it has to be fun. If it's not fun for you, you're never going to get any good at it. You have to keep having fun. Like, yeah, there's going to be some work, and you're going to have to put your head down and work at it, but you need to keep that love for skateboarding has to come first. And in anything, not just skateboarding, if you're out there, you know, whatever it is you're doing, you got to keep doing what brings you to it. Like, you know, for me, it's like it's that feeling of that little bit of being afraid and proving to yourself that you can do it is like, that's the thing I'm addicted to. But I'd say make sure you keep having fun. Don't turn it into a job, you know, then it'll suck.
Yeah.
So, and then for me, I don't see anything different from me. I'd kind of like to get out there a little more and meet more people. Like with the internet, I've kind of met more people my age that are out and about. All over, and I'd kind of like to go meet a lot of them in person, you know, so I'll probably try to travel a little more. luckily for me, a lot of those people want to come to LA. So I mean, I don't even have to travel as much.
Right.
So,
I mean, everybody wants to live here.
yeah, I get people all the time hitting me up like, "Oh, we're in LA. Do you think we could skate with you?" So it's like I love it when people do that. So I we'll meet up with the skate at a skate park and make friends from wherever. I've made friends from all over the world, from Sweden, Germany. I've met a lot of guys from South America, Canada, both sides of Canada, like just other states. I have some friends that come from New Hampshire that come and skate with me. Yeah, it's cool.
So cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah, we've had a guy from the UK on the show in the beginning, like early on, and then we've had some guests on the show. A guy from Iowa as well. Like he came down and he's like, my goal was to be on your show.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm like, dude, it's on, bro.
Yeah.
So,
podcasts are really fun though, because it's like it makes you think about things like it makes you realize what a big part of my life skateboarding is. Like it's kind of and since the way I've retired, especially, it's kind of gone into every aspect of it. Most of my friends are skaters.
That's cool. Yeah, the friends I do have that don't skate, hi.
I know, right?
I haven't seen you in a minute, but
But I don't know, is it that way for you? Like when you meet someone, well, like I used to have a lot of vendors and stuff that would come into the store and they had Vans on. I'd go, do you skate or are you a poser? And if they skated, like immediately you're like, okay, you're my people. Like
well, I would look for holes in the shoes.
Yeah,
too,
yeah, you could tell.
Otherwise, because I'm like, are those chillers or do you actually skate? Like.
Are those chillers?
Are those chillers?
That's a good one.
I wear chillers, so if you're gonna see me not have any holes in my shoes, don't be judging, man.
I know, right? I wear I have like a rotation. Like I buy them when I'm trying to look cute.
Yeah.
And then when I was working, then they turn into like everyday shoes, and then I skate in them. Yeah. I don't ever buy shoes to skate in. I don't skate in until
like they're broken in
until they're worn. You can't feel your board when they're brand new. Like I have to.
A lot of times.
Yeah, they have to be. Like see some miles before I skate in them.
That's true. That's usually what I do too. But some shoes I can tell whether or not. Like I love S shoes, but they don't all feel good to skate in. But I like them. Yeah. So the ones I do skate in, those are the ones. Yeah. But do you have a favorite shoe to skate in? Is it Vans?
I like the skate lows usually. I used to like these Kyle Walker ones that they quit, or no, these Chima Ferguson ones that they quit. They quit making the style that I really liked them. They were like my favorite ones to skate in, and they stopped making them. But I like to ride in the skate lows.
Okay. Who's the other one? The Roman?
Oh, Roman Cervicilla?
No, the guy at Vans. The
Rowan? Oh, Caballero.
Nah, I can't think of his name right now.
Shima? No, Shima Ferguson. I start naming the whole
lady
team.
Has.
Keep going.
I can't remember his name right now. But
the Raleigh?
Raleigh?
No,
Rolly. It's Rolly.
Rollies are. I want to get the new ones. Those look cool.
Yeah.
But I'm mostly S or what I skate. So.
I did an event and with a friend of mine that does she has like a Concrete Queens. She does like an after school program for like inner city youth, and she Kariuma. And those things are pretty comfortable.
Are they really?
Like, and I only have the one pair, but I was able to skate in them like immediately.
Vegan shoes.
Is that what they are?
Yeah.
They have like cork on the inside. They're like, I was like super impressed. I didn't expect to like them, but I wore them and they were so comfortable. I'm like, I'm gonna try to skate in these. And but Vans, it's like a nostalgia thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like I have like millions of pairs. They're just like.
It's amazing.
I know, huh? It's so silly.
All right. Do you think you ever put out a part, like an actual part, like put it on YouTube or anything? Or?
You know what? So the girl that I skate with, she's always trying to get me to put myself out there more, and I thought about doing YouTube and putting my videos that I've already, because I just put little short clips. Like I don't think I have any videos that are more than a minute, but I could do it. I mean, I probably have enough footage to do a part, and I'd like to learn. I just, skateboarders. I never feel ready to do the part. You know what I mean? Like, wait, I can do it better. I'm not ready to put that out there yet. I'm not ready. Yeah, and so I don't know that it would ever be ready. You know what I mean?
That's why. Well, I mean, what I used to do too is like maybe like all your clips, put them together already, and then make a video out of all the stuff you already have. Yeah. Add a song to it maybe, and then have it live on YouTube and see what happens. Yeah. And you never know. Like it could go viral and you could make some money off of it. Yeah. You never know. Monetize it.
I'm gonna do I figured by the time I'm like older, that all the old people will be ready to go to retirement homes, and I'm gonna do skate clinics at like retirement homes.
That'll be funny. Drain the pool.
Drain the pool.
Drain their pool, and it's like, let's go, everybody in.
I mean, because really, like, there's like skaters in their 70s now that are legit skaters. Like, and, yeah. I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. But like, it's not really a it'd be great if it would turn into a financial venture. But really, I'm just like a skater. I'm not a business. I'm not. I don't have NIL deals. I'm not like, you know what I mean. It's not.
Well, if you guys do decide to do the podcast, let us know.
Yeah,
we'll definitely we'll back it up too.
Yeah,
you know
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of interesting to somebody. Somebody might care.
Sure,
I don't know.
I mean, and then you have connections too. You can get all the people that you knew from the past and have them come on as a guest and like you said, like it doesn't have to be the same as everybody else's show. You can just sit and have a conversation, reminisce about the good old times, and people like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to know about my history now that I'm older, you know, because I mean, back in the day when I was skating, I just wanted to skate. I didn't want to sit around and watch videos unless it was something everybody's talking about or there's a new trick out there.
Yeah.
But now I want to go back and actually learn the stuff.
Right.
And it's pretty cool, especially because we do the show now, and I want to know my history.
Well, I do. I've been working with a friend of mine has an after school program. So you were saying you work with kids. Yeah. And we do an after school skate class. So I work just a few days a week with them. That's
cool.
We bring all the boards and ramps and stuff.
That's funny how you mentioned that, because my coworkers are telling me like, hey, you should do that. Like, come on. I'm like, oh, I don't know yet, you know?
Yeah.
Like I would love to do it, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Because I don't want to have too much investment of my skate life in work.
That's what I told myself I'm going to do it until it starts feeling like work. So as long as it's fun, I'll keep doing it. But, you know, it's hard working with kids because you think, oh, I like kids. Kids are cool, but they're not all cool. It's not, that's a myth.
That's true.
But even the ones that aren't cool, there's probably a reason they're not being cool. And so you have to be a little more patient with those kids that like,
you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you can't take anything personal. You can't,
and one thing I'll say about kids is that like, they're just things that just can't lie. Yeah. So you can see right through them. Oh, I want to say things. They're just little humans that you could just see right through them if you've worked with kids for as long as I have. You can see right through. And
what they say isn't always what they mean.
Yeah.
Like you have to like figure them out, because I'll have kids that are like, I didn't want to do this. Well, they're scared. Of course they want to do it. It's freaking fun. All the other kids are doing it. Yes. But they're afraid that they're going to be judged. That's what they don't want to do. Mm-hmm. They don't want to be judged. So we have to like equalize it and find a way. Like, it's really, it's funny.
That's the one thing I always say is skateboarding teaches you, you're going to fall.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're going to fall. If you're embarrassed to fall, everybody's going to fall.
When they fall and get upset, I have a bunch of clips on my phone of me just eating shit. And I'll go, you want to see a fall? This is me. This was me last week. So
I love doing edits of like the fails, slams, bails.
Oh, the internet loves to see me fall. That's like,
yeah. I mean,
Shout out.
I know, right?
Follow
That's
me.
my fault. I know. I wish I could fall more for you guys.
Follow me. I do not want to be on that. I do not want to be on that.
No way.
I have a video of me. I went to that. I don't know if you've ever seen that pool. There was a pool. It's gone now. But there was a pool over off La Palma in Anaheim. We called it the hippie pool, but I guess some people called it the jungle pool.
Okay.
But I went and skated with two other old ladies, and I took a different line. I was just hitting it like one hitter. But a girl that we went with took a different line where she was able to hit it twice. And so I was like, oh, I could do that. Well, it's really graffitied and the hip sticks out, and there's steps in it. You know the ladder steps. Mm-hmm. And I clipped the ladder step and went head first down in the I landed like I got taken away in an ambulance. Like I had a concussion. Dang. I got like spent the night in the emergency room, and I felt bad because I felt like I traumatized those two poor girls that were with me. And I have it on video where I fell. And that's how I only watched it because I wanted to see why I fell. Because like I was like, why did I fall? Like I've skated this pool lots of times, and it launched me head first down to the bottom. And so I saw that I clipped the ladder stick. I had the 360 camera running. Okay. So but I only watched it that one time. I can't, and it would be good Halloween footage. because it's like I looked like someone threw a test dummy head first into
my God.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
All right. All right. Do you have anything you want to bring up before we get out of here?
I think we've talked about everything there is to
let's
me.
see if we have any questions left in this bowl real
Oh,
quick.
that's fun.
One more
that's
question.
scary. Scary.
They're cool. They're nothing too crazy.
Let's see. If you could have any skateboard in your collection,
Ooh.
skated or wanted.
Yeah, like anything. Maybe you had a board in the past that you wanted, or a board you never had before.
The collector. You know what? I wouldn't mind having the old Alva board, just because. But not the reissue, like a real old, because that's really that. I'm gonna say like Tony Alva is like, to our era, Tony Alva was the man.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was like, when I came back to skating, I skated with him at Venice. His first day skating the Venice skate park, I coincidentally was skating the Venice skate park, and I had kind of figured it out. It was his first day being there, and he's Tony Alva, so I was like, he was kind of like not following me around, but we kind of kept happening to get in the same spot to drop in, like because we're like, it's different there. It's like you got to kind of find your spot. And so he was making small talk with me, and he's like, I love the way you skate. And I was like, and I don't usually get that way, like, but so it'd be nice. I'd like to have like the full on Tony Alva thing, like, he's got his own sets of wheels and like
that would be cool. Do you have any boards that you hang up or anything like that? Or?
I have a board that Eric Dressen gave me, and I rode it for a little while, and I won't get rid of that one because he gave it to me. Okay. And I have at the Skatopia reunion, they made an 30th year anniversary board that I'd hang up. But I kind of feel like boards are meant to skate.
Boards are meant to skate.
Yeah. So I don't really hang up.
Apologize to all my boards in here.
I mean, it does look really cool though. It does look really cool.
Yeah, I like the artwork in them. Like I bought originally when I first bought a skateboard, like with a cool graphic. I'm like, it was supposed to be skated, and then I go, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So I ended up buying like the shop board or whatever, or just like anything that just says like chocolate or something on it,
Yeah.
But
I'll see boards sometimes, and I really like the graphic, and I'm like, maybe I should buy two. So then I'll skate one and hang one.
Yeah.
And then skate one.
And then I got into like going to the premieres and finding the pros and getting them to sign the boards.
Yeah.
And that became a thing, and that's how I got out there though.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But that's cool. That'd be cool to see you get a Alva board.
Yeah, the Alva board. He's like, I'm gonna say that's like my. That's when I think of my youth and I think of skateboarding as a kid. And just like what skateboarding was, it was like trying to skate like Tony Alva. Even now, like Tony Alva, the front side grind and the front side, that was like, the slash grind. Like I still like. I mean, I feel like I'm Tony Alva.
I just saw a documentary on him, so I'm seeing these photos of him in the pool with his hair and everything now. Like it's crazy, and the board, the way it looks, and it's amazing.
Yeah, and he's a really nice guy too. I've met him a couple times. I try to hold myself together.
All right, guys. Anything else?
That's all.
All right. Good. Do you have any shout outs?
I want to shout out my friend Rob because he's out at those DIYs, and I don't go skate with him as much as I like. If you see him, Skate50 on the internet, he's one of my favorite skaters.
Skate50? Yeah, we follow him.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
And my friend Julie, that's out a little bit injured. I haven't gotten to skate with her. Julie, go forth. She's my.
And who are the two friends again? I'm sorry.
Julie and Julie. Julie Daniels and Julie go forth.
The Julies.
Yeah, the Julies.
All right. Yeah. Well, shout out to them too as well. And they skate too, so maybe if they want to come on the show as well, they want to share their story.
You should get the three old ladies. You think one old lady gets you, that's...
Well, maybe if you guys ever start the podcast, come on here. We'll talk about it and get it out there.
Yeah, right on.
So yeah. Any other shout outs?
I think that's good.
And your Instagram?
Oldlady Skater. Oldlady_skater.
All righty. Ryan, any shout outs?
No, I'm just glad to be here. I'm just happy to be here.
It's good to meet you guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And thank you, Ryan, for sitting in for David today. And of course, I got to thank the guys behind the ones and twos. Listo, your shout outs?
I got some shout outs. Shout out number one, God. Shout out my family. Shout out at skateboarding. Shout out where the Locals Skate. Shout out for coming down here and sharing your story. Dude, I'm so like inspired to like, you know, you're talking about your stories, how old you are, and like still skateboarding, still having that drive, you know, like I'm 33 and I wish to get to that age and still have that drive, you know, that passion, that love for skateboarding. So it's very
Yeah, it doesn't go
inspirational and
away.
motivating.
It doesn't go away.
Yeah.
It'll still be there.
You know, and then I just hope to reach that age. You know, it's a blessing to reach that age and still do what you love, you know, have that freedom to do what you love, you know, and not hurt, not being
Amen.
sick. You know, my dad's 63 and then like he rides his bike here and there, but he's not very athletic. But seeing you, I'm like, dude, like I wish my parents were more like that, you know, more active, more athletic, and more healthy, you know. So shout out to you.
Thank you.
And shout out to We're the Locals Sk8. Shout out to Ryan coming down. Shout out to Peralta.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And shout out Skate Show.
Thank you.
Shout out to everybody doing positive things, and that's my shout outs.
Yeah. And of course, thank you again for coming down. And you are an inspiration to a lot of people. I mean, like he said, like we all want to keep skating for as long as we can, and as long as we're here, and as long as we're healthy, we're gonna keep doing it. You know.
I think that's all our goals. Just,
and I think skateboarding keeps us young. And I know you use the old lady skater, but you know what I mean. Like I know women don't like to be called old, you know. So, but you're running with it and you're owning it, and I love that.
I mean, you got to think. I mean, I am old. It's like at the skate park, I'm old.
At the skate park.
Yeah.
At the skate park. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. When I go to the Sizzler, I'm not old.
Right.
But when I go
Sizzler, heck yeah. All right, and I want to thank, of course, these guys behind the one and twos. Thank everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe to our channel. If you or you know somebody that wants to be on the show, please hit us up on the DMs and we'll try to get you in the studio. We also are still trying to find somebody to redo the music for us, because we keep getting copyright strikes and we want to get rid of that. So if anybody out there can help us out with that, please send it to @wheretheleocalskate @gmail.com. I'm OG Skate Show. Till next time, peace out.